Today, I just kind of wanted to talk about the real estate business, or at least the three gears that we've put some attention on in the past. In the past probably 2 years, where we just try to implement certain things into these gears just to try to help the business run a little bit more efficiently. Um, so I want to just kind of touch on those three gears and then kind of give people what goes into each gear. So the first one is with the strategies is how do you get business? How do you get leads? How do you start to, I guess, formulate some sort of brand to where people can associate your brand with real estate and hopefully a high-end service real estate business. And then once you're picking up a bunch of leads, now we got to figure out the systems to where we can organize the leads, stay in touch with the leads, close the leads. And then from there, once you get too many leads, your systems are all put in place and they're already functioning. Now it's time to figure out a way to delegate some of the tasks so we can put more attention on some of the income generating activities. Let's rewind, start right at the top. Just kind of go through some of the strategies that we're implementing right now that help us get leads, help us build our brand, and help people just kind of associate us with high service real estate business. And I'll let you start with just one of the strategies of getting leads that we're using right now.
Well, we're doing a lot of things that generate leads. However, one of the things that I think generate leads, well, there's buyer leads and there's seller leads. And so the buyer leads, one thing I always start off with is open houses. I know a lot of people, are on the fence with open houses. My thing is you got to be, consistent with doing those open houses. And the reason I like open houses is because they come to you. They're coming to your store. Your store is that house you're selling. So it makes it very easy to open that conversation up because they're coming to you as opposed to you going around and door knocking. The other thing is it's essentially free to do that. And it's also a marketing and advertisement opportunity on social media. Even if you want to go door knocking, you can go door knocking in the neighborhood before an open house, inviting all the neighbors too. I think as a newer agent, I'd be doing open houses every single day, if I could do it. And if no one shows up, at least you got your advertisement out there. It shows that you're doing activity in the business. Tells people that you're consistently doing open houses and working in the industry over and over and over again.
And the thing with open houses too is which makes them so effective is people are coming to the open house for a reason. Somebody that's at an open house is either one, a nosy neighbor who is trying to see if their house compares to the one that you have listed. Two, they're a buyer that has interest in buying in that area and that price range. So you know that they're active on the market, they're searching actively. And three is just somebody that might be just like a casual going open house visitor. They just like to go around and look at some of the houses. If you're
Mm-hmm.
nice enough to them and you provide some sort of value and you talk to them and the rapport is obviously there, those people can eventually turn into clients down the road. Um,
Right.
we've had some people that come to open houses and we don't try to pitch them on buying the house. We don't try to pitch them on working with us, but we just simply have a conversation with them about their family, about what they do for work, about what they do for fun, some of their hobbies, and just try to get to know them as a person. And then eventually that turns into someone that you build trust with later on. They want to sell their house and eventually buy one. The goal is that they come back to you at that point.
And kind of going along with that, as far as that strategy goes, there's posting to social media. A lot of people are like, well, where do I even start with social media? There's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google business page. You should have all of that. If you don't know how to create that, I know we have that in our course, the Agent Launch course. It just basically breaks it down, steps 1 through whatever, how to actually prepare your brand for launching those advertisements and marketing that way.
And important to note too, we're going to go through a couple other lead generation strategies, and the reason why we don't just have one lead generation strategy is because we look at the gear that's turning our strategy branch of our business. We're looking at that as each spoke on that gear is essentially a lead strategy, I guess, source. So as the gear turns, if one falls off, for example, like if you're not able to do open houses for a period of time. Well, the gear keeps turning, so you want to have other gears or other spokes on that gear that help you generate business just as you continue to turn. Just because you're not necessarily doing open houses, there's about six other gears that you can have, or other six other spokes on your gear that you can implement that'll help you still generate business just during that slower time with one of those specific spokes. So another one that we use too is referral fee based partners. Basically what this is companies that you agree to work with, and then you give them a referral fee on the back end once you close the deal. So for example, if I'm working with you and we close the deal, but I got the referral that from that got me in touch with you is from Zillow. For example, you don't pay Zillow a referral, but you pay them, 25%, 30% on the back end once you do close it. It's another one that we use. And the nice thing about those is that there's so many out there, and you can sign up for as many as they'll as will accept you. And it's just as you start going with those, as you start closing more, they start sending you better leads, more converting leads. So definitely want to pay attention to those. Do your own research on them. See what companies even offer referral fee leads. But the one thing that we will say with just any sort of referral business is make sure it's always a back end payment and not an upfront payment. Just with the upfront ones, we people get their money and then they kind of the attention that they give you kind of dwindles from there. So we've always done back end referral agreements with the companies that we use, and we've really gotten away from that front end payment just because they
Right.
weren't converting and we were giving them a lot of money up front.
And kind of going along with that too, a lot of people are like, well, why would I give somebody 35, 40% on a referral? I mean, we've done relocation referrals at 50%, where you're giving 50% away. And we're in the business of collecting clients. And so that's what a lot of people need to understand is this is how this is how we run our business is we collect clients. We collect clients that we get to know them. We get to know their family. They get refer family, friends. We invite them to, client get-togethers, things like that. So once they're in our sphere as a past client, we don't have to pay that referral company anything after that first time. So that it just again collecting clients. You get over a course of several years, you get a couple hundred clients, half of which may be referrals. They're going to start, 2, 3, 4 years. They're going to start buying houses, and they're definitely going to refer clients to you. So just that one referral client will give you an abundance of referrals from them.
And you're just using them essentially to build your book of business because they buy now, you give the referral fee stuff. It sucks. I mean, nobody wants to pay them an additional referral fee, but you pay the referral fee, you make money on a deal that you would have had if you didn't get the referral. But then 3 years from now, when they go to sell that house and buy a new one, no referral fee on either side of that. So
Right.
it's get the referral, close the business, and then stay in touch with them and take care of them as a client.
It's a long game.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people are in it for the short game, like they need money right now. That you again, that you're talking about different spokes on that gear. Referral based business is it's money now, but it's a little bit of money now, but it's really more money later. So it's that kind of fills that pipeline.
And then there's a couple of spokes that we'll go over. We won't necessarily dive too far into depth in them because they're pretty general and pretty surface level. But another one here that is on our list is social media. We use social media. We've been getting a lot of leads from social media, and it's not necessarily people that are converting through our social media, but they come to us down the road. They see us out in public, and they're like, "Oh, we see you all the time on social media. We're actually going to get ready to list and buy something. Do you guys mind meeting with us?" So it's not necessarily someone that DM'd us through social media, but it's somebody that has seen us on social media, got associated with our brand, and is now seeing us out in public and establishing us with that brand, and kind of using us to list and sell and to list and buy a home. Just because they've seen us on social media, they started to build some slow trust with us, and we get people that compliment social media and just interact with our social media all the time. So that's
Hmm.
been a big one too. So not necessarily converting on social media, but more so using social media as some sort of accelerator for our brand.
Yeah, you've got to establish yourself as someone who's in the industry, who's an expert in the industry, and the only way to do that on social media is to consistent post information.
Yeah, just let people know. We tell a lot of our new agents, once you get a house under contract, then put up that you got a house under contract so people know that you're not just like in real estate, but you're actually selling real estate. You're actually you're being active in the market with clients. And it just helps build some sort of social proof as well. If somebody sees that you're actually selling houses, then they know that they can trust you to get the job done with their house. Another one I've got here is clubs. Just joining clubs. You know, we do through a bunch of the people in Battle Creek, they do like bowling clubs, golf clubs, whatever it may be. We do both of those, golf and bowling. And not only is it just a ton of fun, but we also get to interact with people that are in our market at our age to where they're buying and selling homes all the time. They've got family and friends that are buying and selling homes. So the clubs just give us a chance to get in front of them, you know, kind of talk with them. It's all about building trust with these people, you know, because ultimately you're not going to do business with anybody that you don't trust. So it's how can we build trust with them? And if you're just a friendly person with them and you actually want to become their friend, it's pretty easy to build trust, you know. So being in a setting where you actually want to be friends with those people makes it 100 times easier. So we've kind of lucked out with our golf and bowling just because everybody in that club is super easy to get along with.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it never fails, no matter, you know, how many times we've gone each week or whatever. Somebody, usually somebody different, always asks, you know, how are things going? How's the market? I heard this, and then you get a chance to kind of interact and talk with them about it.
Show your expertise and give them some value, even if they're
Yeah,
asking for it. So we give it to them. You know, we don't bring it up to them, but if somebody asks us about it, we're more than happy to, you know, talk real estate with people for sure.
yeah, yeah. And then going along with that too, clubs. You know, we do a lot of volunteering. You know, at the food bank. You know, that's one thing that we kind of gravitated towards is at least just one of those volunteer opportunities. You know, and from there again, you get to meet lots of different people. They find out, you know, what you do, and you know, they start to follow you on social media. They know that you give back to the community. And again, it never fails. They always ask you, you know, once they find out, you know, what you do, you know, they always have a question, always have a question. And
Yeah.
so, and it feels good to volunteer.
Another one on the spoke here is just FSBOs and expireds. These are we don't have to go into too much details on these because they're really just about how you speak to them. You know, it's a lot of scripting when it comes to FSBOs and expireds. A lot of like mental capacity. How many no's can you take before you, I guess, throw the white flag in, or how many no's can you get until you keep going and try to get that first yes. But FSBOs and expireds is a very general one, but it's definitely a spoke that's on our wheel that keeps our strategies going. There's tons of spokes that you can add to your gear that turns your strategy side of your real estate business. But the main thing that we want people to realize is just that when you're first starting in real estate, you can't close any deals without any leads. So first we get the strategies going, get that gear turning to where you're starting to get leads from different spokes on your wheel that are eventually converting into closed leads. But now it's transition over to a side of things to where you're generating too many leads, and now you need help kind of organizing them and keeping in front of all the leads that you're generating. So from there we turn over into systems. And our systems, there's a ton of systems that we could go over, but just the main ones that I kind of wanted to go over today, that helps us stay in touch with our leads, help us stay organized with our leads, is our drip campaigns and our CRM. So
Mm-hmm.
with our CRM, we've done a pretty big deep dive into it the past 2 years, just figuring out, you know, how can we organize our CRM? How can we implement certain things on here into our CRM that just helps us stay in touch with our clients, but on autopilot. So something that we've done is we've implemented the drip campaigns on KV Core. And we've talked about this in numerous episodes, but we do a buyer drip campaign, seller drip campaign, closed client, under client, open house campaign. And basically what it is, it's a lot of upfront work, but then once those systems are put in place, if you get a client at an open house, you just go type their name into your CRM, add them to your system, click them over to that open house campaign, and now it's thanking them for coming to your open house, and they're getting content from your team that provides value on a bi-weekly, monthly basis whenever you want to send out emails.
Right.
So using the drip campaigns has been huge for us. Just as you get clients, we need somebody to keep in touch with them because we don't have the capacity while we're out showing homes, balancing contracts, negotiating contracts. We don't have the capacity to always, you know, stay in touch with the new leads that we get. You know, obviously we call and text them and stuff, but just when we're in between that call and text window, how can we get one more thing in front of them to associate themselves with our brand.
Right.
So with that, we do the drip campaigns. Anything you want to touch on with the drip campaigns?
No, well, just real quick. Once you get them in there, like all your clients will be in there, all your new leads, all your active leads. You know, once they're all in KV Core, then you can do implement things when you have time to it, such as a monthly newsletter. And again, that monthly newsletter just contains, more about you and how you're helping the community, and showcasing certain properties, and kind of gets you your database interacting with your brand. But again, you got to get those people in there. So every chance you get, just get them in there.
Yep. And a lot of people to get confused on it, we're not just sending out automated emails that are saying, are you ready to buy something? Have you seen anything? It's like, here's what's going on in Battle Creek this week. Here's how you can save money on your mortgage payment. If you want a chance to look at your home's value, just click this button. So it's a lot of things that are directed to benefit the client. But at the same time, on the back end of it, there is some benefit to us just getting in front of people. Another system that we've got here is just how to track your deals. We use Google Sheets. There's not necessarily a CRM system that we use or that we found that we can use with tracking our deals, but just as soon as we get somebody under contract, we have a whole CRM or a Google Sheets set up in our computers to where put the address in and then we can kind of track each task that's coming up, negotiate or repairs, appraisals, well and septic inspections. So all of that's on a Google Sheet to where we can wake up every morning, look and just make sure that everything is getting scheduled for each property timely. That just helps us close our deals on time, which is one of the biggest things in real estate.
Yeah. And with Google Sheets, that might seem old school, but it allows all of us to be in there interacting with that sheet, and it
Mhm.
has historical tracking, changes, things like that. In case someone accidentally wipes something out, you can always go back and refresh it, things like that. So that seems always been able to help us. It's kind of like at a glance. At a glance, here's our client information. At a glance, here's where we are with the individual tasks. Here's the title company information. Here's the other agent information. Things like that.
Yeah. And that's kind of a good segue into the third one, which is just starting to delegate some of those tasks. So we use Google Sheets because you can share it with numerous people. So one of the delegation tasks that we've gotten off of our plates and have delegated out is just the admin assistance on the back end doing all the title work. So our admin has access to all of our Google Sheets. So, we're able to go in there, update them. She's able to go in there and look and just see where each file's at on that timeline. She knows that if repairs haven't been done on a certain property, then we've got 10 days. So we're getting up to that deadline there. And she can kind of hold us accountable to that. Like, hey, you're getting close to your 10 days on this file. How are the repairs coming? Or hey, we haven't got the appraisal ordered for this one yet. Have we told the lender we're ready for it? So it's just kind of an accountability side of things, but it's also gives us a chance to have another set of eyes on our files. Couple other, I guess, tasks that you can delegate. One of the bigger ones is for everybody that's wanting to get into social media, which if you're in real estate, you should definitely look into that realm because it can definitely produce a lot of business, but it's just automating some of your social media stuff. We use a scheduling app. Facebook offers a scheduling system now, but we use a third party one, and we're able to go in there and line up posts for we've got posts right now that are lined up all the way till December, so you can definitely get in there and use that to your advantage. The big way this came up was automating social was on holidays. You don't want to be on your phone on Christmas, but you want to make sure that you're getting a post out there to your clients that are wishing them a Merry Christmas. So here we are in May, and we've already made a post for December 25th that wishes our clients a Merry Christmas, to where when we get to that day, we're able to spend time with our family, but the business side of things are still getting done just because they are automated to post on that day.
And that third party app, I mean, it is like an assistant. I mean, once you have some upfront work to do, but you can get months worth of content scheduled and ready to go within the matter of a couple of hours, and you don't even have to worry about it anymore.
Right. And you don't even like you can go in there and you can schedule out the photos you want posted, the captions that you want to be posted with those photos. You can post, you can even schedule in like what the first comment on the photo, what you want it to be. So in some cases, where on LinkedIn we post a new listing, well, we can schedule the first comment to be a link to that property listing on our website. So if somebody sees it and they're like, wow, that's a really nice house, let's look more into it. Click the comment in the comment section, directs them over to our website. They're looking at the property from there. If they want to continue to explore homes from there, they have to sign in on our website. And from there, we have now created a new lead. Scheduling the post, scheduling the captions, scheduling some of those comments that you can actually put into those posts has been huge. And then obviously another section that we've implemented was the mini chats. What the mini chat is, and I didn't know it's kind of fresh to us, but is that anytime somebody comes into our social media and they want access to, if they want access, for instance, to the agent launch course, if they comment launch in our social media, the mini chat automation automatically sends them a DM with the link to the agent launch course to where they can go in and explore it. So we could be out showing homes, somebody comments on our social media. Obviously if we're too busy, we're not going in there and seeing who's commenting, sending the link to everybody. Mini chat actually does that for us. So we
Mhm.
do that with the agent launch course. Any buyers and sellers, if somebody comments that they're a buyer or buying, then they'll get an automated DM to their profile, and it'll link them to a one-on-one, buying consultation with our team just to go over what they're looking for. Um,
Mhm.
Similar on the flip side, if somebody comments that they're a seller, they're going to get a DM and they're going to get a link to meet with us one-on-one just to talk about their selling goals, what they're looking for, where they're going. Um, but it's just all ways that we can be quick and responsive to clients to fulfill their needs while also out fulfilling other needs with people out in the field.
Right, right. And that
Um,
gets into, I mean, the systems and delegation, they kind of go hand in hand.
mhm.
Sometimes we have a person that we delegate to as our coordinator. And sometimes we have systems that allow us to delegate tasks, to, and it's just about doing more in less time. I guess delegate that specific task to a system that will automate things. And
Yeah.
then, and again, it all just kind of go round and round. It's like our drip campaigns. Once, we have lead systems where it automatically goes into our email, automatically goes to KV Core, and then it automatically starts the drip campaign, without any of us touching anything. So it's all just kind of just working harder for us.
These 3 years, they're ultimately set up to help people have success in the business. But outside of that, like we all have lives outside of real estate. So it's like, how can we implement some of these things up front to where we're not spending hours and hours and hours, on the back end away from our family to where we can't go spend time with them or do fun things that we want to do as um, outside of the real estate business. So it's like, if we can get a new lead, how can we set the new lead up on a drip campaign and get them closed without spending hours sending them every single property that comes up and sending them an email every Monday. Just little things like that we've realized, you can automate, you can set up systems to where you can free up time, but also close more deals. And I guess what everybody wants to do is make more money. So these three gears that we've noticed are the three that turn our business, and they turn our business in a more energy and time efficient manner.
Absolutely.
Anything else that you can think of adding
I
in?
can't. No. I mean, that's a lot to absorb for
Yeah,
for anybody.
for sure. And we're going to do a more in-depth visual presentation on this, where we can just kind of, we'll put it up on YouTube, but we'll give people an idea of a little bit more in depth on each spoke, each system, and then each delegation task that we've delegated out. So we're going to do a video on that, and we'll get that up to people just so they can have some sort of visual learning to it as well.
Right. And then dive into each one of those in detail.
Yep, dive into each one. And then obviously, if you don't want to wait for that video, just go over and go over to our Instagrams, click our links, and click the agent launch link from there. And you can access the course today and start learning about it on your own. But if you want to wait and just kind of see where these three gears tie into the agent launch course, wait for that video. If you want to do it on your own, just go visit our pages and you'll find it there.
Awesome. Until next time.
Yeah.